Tilo. The city owns, I think, 2 golf courses. Is that correct?
3.
3 golf courses. And last, I was looking at the Langara golf course, which I believe is about 120 acres in the middle of the city. I was wondering what role you might see those golf courses playing in helping meet some of these targets. Do you see the golf courses transitioning into other uses in the future, other parks-related uses, or staying as is? I personally don't see them as particularly welcoming to the general population, and I see them as not really quite aligning with our city's sustainability targets from multiple different points of view. I was just wondering what direction the park board sees those going in the future.
That's a fascinating question, and plenty of opportunity for me to step into territory that I shouldn't step into.
Yes.
Golf courses will have to be re-evaluated over time again and again, simply because they are a large mass of public land, of public parkland, that is available for all kinds of uses, but that is used for one specific purpose at this time, right? So as the city densifies and as the population grows, people like you who will say, well, can't we do something better with these golf courses, will sort of appear out of the woodworks more and more. We've tried to work some more general public use into golf courses. For example, in Langara, we have the trail that goes all the way around the golf course, and it is more used all the time as a walking trail and as a jogging trail and so on. And so maybe that will increase over time. There is a problem with just ditching the golf courses, and that is they make a lot of revenue with which we fund other programs. So if we take them out of use as golf courses, we also lose a lot of other programs. And what we put in place in lieu of golf courses doesn't necessarily generate the same revenue. So those are difficult issues. But as pressure increases on our public park system, that discussion, I'm sure, will happen a lot more in the future.
I definitely see a relationship between the golf courses and some of the things that Andrew Pask was talking about in terms of food production, particularly Langara Golf Course with its fantastic southern exposure probably provides huge opportunities for urban agriculture. I'm just wondering if there's a future there. I'd ask you to comment on that, but I just see a linkage between the two topics.
Andrew and I will be talking, I'm sure.
Yes, we've got ideas.
About the trees, I wonder, are they going to be, when you say productive trees, what do you mean by productive of a tree? Do you mean fruit, or do you mean shade, or do you mean other functions?
I mean, food can be part of it, absolutely. Maybe not as a street tree, but as a park tree, and we've sort of started to go into that. Leanne can talk more about that. But by productive, I also mean that the tree intercepts rainwater and filters dust and reduces the urban heat island, moderates the climate, and all that stuff, right?
Tilo, I'm Laura Lee Delbrook from Sustainability. And I was interested in you saying that one of the priorities of parks is to acquire parkland on the water. Is another priority to acquire parkland that would help to create kind of habitat corridors, or
yes,
I know it came up in a different strategy.
Yes.
I saw it later, but it's
yes,
kind of,
yes, it is, and we've done that. We have an ongoing program, for example, to buy pieces of the Renfrew Ravine, because to us that is a significant special habitat in the city, and so we've over the years acquired quite a bit of it. There are still properties around the ravine that in our minds own a little bit too much of the slope, so we're trying to buy pieces of land off of them. And other special habitats we're also looking at, yeah.
Okay, I was wondering if you're looking at the idea of setting up a Vancouver City tree planting carbon offset program. I was wondering if there had been any talk with the sort of looking at the Pacific Carbon Trust model, how that would affect them and how they would see that. For example, if the municipality or the public sector was making their own offsets, then they wouldn't be paying that as a fee to the Pacific Carbon Trust to be providing money for others to apply for an offsetting contract, right? That's kind of how I understand it to work.
I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if the city at this time buys carbon offsets from anyone. Do we?
I don't think yet, and I could be completely wrong, but I think the idea is...
But I mean, clearly to have an sort of an in-house circle
Yeah.
is much more desirable than to involve external players in this, yes.
Exactly, right? So
Yeah.
from the municipality's point of view, it would be nicer to keep the funds and the projects circulating within it, but then I guess my question would be, would there be concerns from the Pacific Carbon Trust that they wouldn't be receiving any money from that?
I don't know, but the more you talk about it, the more I like the idea of inflicting a carbon penalty on all kinds of city actions that then results in more trees being planted in streets and parks.
I think, just to respond to what I know on that I think we're voluntarily committed to be carbon neutral by 2012, at which point I would assume we're buying offsets. I'm pretty new to the city, so maybe we're doing it earlier. I'm not sure. And then we're not, like other sectors, the healthcare, education, are required to buy offsets through Pacific Carbon Trust, but we are not. Yeah. So, but I don't know what we're actually doing about that, but that's kind of the structure behind it.
That's a great idea. I like the carbon penalty. Let's do that. Thank you.